let's talk about the setup of this thing. It shows up, and there's a team that has to set this up and make it start working. Take me to step one. That includes you taking it off the truck and moving it where it needs to go.
So generally 4 Cube Jacks are going to show up, whether they're 50 or 100 ton, in this case 100 ton, they're going to be in a transport frame. So each Cube Jack with its barrels and the top barrel is going to be in that transport frame. We'll pick it off the truck, whether it's with a forklift, whether it's with a crane, and then get it down. They'll move it out to wherever the job site's going to be, specifically what is it that we're going to lift. They'll set them up, and the transport frame holds the Cube Jack base, and it also has the barrels and the top barrel. So what we have to do then is get the Cube Jack base out of that transport frame, and then we'll leave the transport frame close by. We'll hook up the hydraulics to it, so hooking in the hose into the advance line and the retract line. And when we're setting up the Cube Jacks, we need to check that, make sure that they're level, but they also need to be at the same elevation. So when we're lifting something like this, we want to be able to lift, and we need to have the same number of barrels come into that system. So we'll check the bases, make sure they're at the same elevation. If they're slightly off, we have the ability to adjust the height of the tilt swivel at the top to make sure that they're going to engage properly. We want equal barrels as we're lifting.
Yes, makes sense.
And then we will put the insert tray onto the front of the Cube Jack. We've already got the hoses hooked up. You could do that in any order, right? But you got to do all of these things before you use it. You get that insert tray set up. Hoses are good. We checked it hydraulically to make sure advance is advance, retract is retract. If we're lifting, we will set the lifting selector knob to lift. If we're lowering, we'll set it to lower.
Where's that?
Yep, that's going to be on the side over by you. So
okay, I see it right here.
Yep. So we'll set up lifting mode for lifting here if we were doing lowering. So we'll pull out the safety, push it down.
Lowering mode, lifting mode, very simple. Lowering mode, lifting mode, very simple.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Okay, very good.
So once we get the hydraulics set up, we test it to make sure that the advance is advance, retract is retract, and then we're ready to go. We'd step back from the lift. We're probably operating from a split flow pump, and